All right, it is Friday. Finally, Friday.
Yeah.
It's not your Friday, though.
It's not my Friday, but,
sorry.
when it is Friday, that means it's almost my Friday, right?
That's
so
true.
That's the way I look at it.
It's all coming up.
Yes. Tomorrow's my Friday.
There you go. That's not bad.
No. Just a morning show.
You're still not recovered from Taylor Swift, are you?
No, my whole week has just been thrown off. Well, especially since it didn't just, I had to work Sunday because I was off Saturday.
Right.
So, it just, my whole week has just felt thrown off the entire time.
Worth it.
Oh, 100% worth it. It was, I could talk about it forever, but I won't.
We're going to save that for another show.
Yeah, we'll have to do a whole special segment on it.
We will.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'll save that for awards week. Anyway, we're going to talk about some of the rain we've been seeing, which we've been wanting for a while, but it still doesn't seem like it's quite enough.
No, and yesterday most of us didn't see any rain. So what we saw yesterday afternoon, we were talking about this throughout the day yesterday, is that we could see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms develop, and we did see that. And one popped up, pretty much just one.
Yeah.
In Ingham County earlier.
It was right when I was leaving here. I was
it was
great.
right in the middle of the afternoon. A severe thunderstorm warning was issued. And look at the storm reports. There were quite a few hail reports.
Yes.
I believe we'll have a look at that coming up in just a few minutes. There's insane video from Howell, especially with some of the hail that came down yesterday. And the National Weather Service actually just confirmed that there was a tornado in Monroe County from a storm yesterday. So
I saw pictures of that, and they were waiting to confirm if it was a tornado, and there was some pretty wild photos.
Right, so one of the things that people might not know is that the National Weather Service actually will send a crew, so people will go out and look at the damage and determine if it was produced by a tornado or if it was produced by, just straight line winds. So that's called a damage survey, and they normally try to do it, the day after, so people haven't already cleaned it all up and, whatnot. So that's what they'll be doing today, but it does look like that they did confirm that it was a tornado, and then they'll send out the actual how strong it was later on. So I just wanted to show you the storm reports of what we saw yesterday. But like we said, there was some rain. So this is radar estimated rainfall over the last 24 hours. And where you see the blues and greens, that's where we did see rain.
But it's light.
But yeah, and the vast majority of us didn't see anything. Lansing and Jackson both just picked up a trace because of that first round of some showers that came in early in the morning. But that wasn't more than just a few sprinkles. So we missed out again on some much needed rainfall. And the bad news is that we need the rain so bad. So I went back, this is what I did this morning at 2 o'clock in the morning, by the way, is looked at the rainfall departure since May. So I'm adding and subtracting and getting these numbers. But Lansing is now more than 4 inches behind on rainfall since May 1st, close to 5 inches in Grand Rapids. Now, obviously, Detroit has seen some rain, so it's not quite as bad there, but moderate drought conditions now exist across mid-Michigan. So we definitely need the rain. And just the problem is, and the problem continues to be, is that our weather pattern gets back to what we were just experiencing. A long, dry stretch of weather is expected beginning today and lasting through the weekend and beyond. It might not be until not this weekend, but next weekend that we see our next opportunity at rain. And the problem with this one, too, is that we're going to be heating up. So a lot of evaporation happening. Any of the moisture that was in the ground, when you have the high heat, the sunshine, it just dries everything out. So that's why I'm very concerned about drought conditions, not only persisting, but getting worse here over the next several days, especially with the heat, especially with just the fact that we have seen barely any rainfall. In the last 30 days, Lansing barely picked up 0.2 of an inch of rain.
Yeah, normally we're like, okay, we don't want the rain to ruin our Father's Day weekend, our baseball games, our plans, but we need it. There's a reason we need it, and it's starting to really affect things.
Yeah, and and mid-Michigan is home to so many farming communities, right? So that's why it's really important that we get this rain, because a lot of people rely on it. And Seth had a good point this morning. Golf courses and tons of other businesses rely on water falling from the sky, and we just do not have anything.
I mean, look at the grass here at MSU.
Well, and that was the thing, people are like, well, we just got some rain. Yeah, we did see some very, 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 very light rain, but that wasn't enough to make any sort of difference.
Right.
And that's why we saw the drought monitor update like it did, and that's why we're in that moderate drought now. And we'll see, as we march our way into June and through the rest of the month, we'll probably see that continue.
All right, but the good news is the temperatures are nice.
Yeah, and the flip side of that is that, we keep saying nice weather is 70s and sunshine. Yes, that's nice. So, but obviously it's not nice. We could use some rain. So, obviously we wish we could get some more in here. But today's weather, we have the clouds. It is very dreary outside. Some wildfire smoke also overhead. So it is going to look hazy today either way, but we will see some sunshine break out later this afternoon. And then the weekend, look at these temperatures. We're into the lower 80s by tomorrow, and then middle 80s on Sunday. Father's Day, of course, is on Sunday. It is looking warm. It is going to be sunny, though. So if you have any plans with Dad outside, I would recommend making sure you have the water, too, because it is going to be a pretty mild day on Sunday. And this is the last graphic I want to show you because it's really the only other one that we'll be keeping an eye on, the fact that we have temperatures warming into the upper 80s. That is a few degrees warmer than what I had yesterday in the forecast. I had 86 as the highest temperature yesterday, now a couple of 88s in there. I will see if we get any warmer than that. I kind of held back a little bit. May touch 90 degrees a day or two next week, but the heat sticks around. Our weather pattern doesn't change, so we're just stuck with this warm air, dry air that's going to be in place. So we just we need the rain,
because the rain helps cool it down a little bit,
right? And the problem is that once we get into the summertime, most of our rain comes from thunderstorms, so it's not even the beneficial rain that we would necessarily need to get rid of the drought. But we don't even really have too many thunderstorm chances in the forecast, and like I said, I don't have anything in the forecast until next Sunday. So it's kind of a grim, I don't want to say grim, that's too much, but I wish I had more rain to talk about, and it's just incredible looking at these computer models every morning that I forecast and just seeing nothing, and there's just nothing.
When was the last time we really experienced something like this? Do you recall anything like that?
Well, if you remember, actually last year we got into the moderate drought status, but we ended up breaking that. And then we just saw but I think that what's more striking about this particular dry stretch is how fast it came on, especially since the beginning of the year. It was so wet, and we were seeing one of the wettest years on record, and then all of a sudden it just was like, nope, no more rain for you, and now we're just stuck without it, and we've been seeing a very dry stretch of weather. So,
and we're still like almost 10 degrees higher than average.
Right, and so we'll see if things can change. Especially. Our weather pattern can get stuck this time of year, but things that can unstick it,
shake it loose,
make it move, is like a tropical system or something like that. That can sometimes mess up the weather pattern. So we may see maybe something like that could try to break this weather pattern and get us some rain. But at this point, it doesn't look all that likely. So we'll be keeping an eye on it. And fingers crossed. Hopefully, don't have anything coming in the next 8-9 days, but maybe after that.
Well, you can always stay up to date. Maybe you want to track some pop-up storms if we're going to get them, or you're trying to get to another part of the state, maybe southeast Detroit area. You can always download the First Alert weather app.
Yeah, it's useful, rain or shine. So always a useful thing to use is the News 10 First Alert weather app. And the best part, it is free.
It is easy to use.
And we are going to
kick Colton out.
Off.
We're going to just kick Colton right out of here.
Colton?
Don't come back until you have rain in the forecast. Okay. Do you see how quickly he just said okay?
He's waiting for the rain like the rest of us. I was waiting for it yesterday. What, did it come overnight or something?
It came overnight. I remember right before I was...
I kept checking the app because I was like, we need the rain.
Yeah, right as I was kind of like
wanna see
winding
it.
down for the day, I saw some rain coming down, so...
I think I went to bed a little too
know.
early then. But that's good. We got a little bit of extra sleep.
Early.
We do need more sleep.
We'll get to that later, too. So first, we're going to keep going with that severe weather that went through parts of the country. There's actually deadly tornadoes in the south. Last night, Michigan wasn't spared.
No.
All of it, like we just saw with the hail.
In fact, I actually woke up and looked at my notifications, saw the WILX little push alert, and was like, oh, there was definitely severe weather. So while no deadly tornadoes have been reported, mid-Michigan did see some hail. And you're going to take a look at those pictures. Yeah, those are not golf balls.
It looks like it.
It really does look like a bunch of golf balls, right? That's every golfer's dream. They're like, free golf balls.
Or nightmare that they can't get it in the hole.
You're right. Or they're like, where's my ball? But those are not golf balls. In the greens at Timber Trace Golf Club, what you're seeing are actually hailstones left behind after the storm rolled through the Pinckney area. And some areas of Michigan saw an impressive and in some cases very damaging hailstorm yesterday. So now we want to show you, look at that. So on your screen.
It looks like it's snowing.
It does. It looks like winter time, like a winter wonderland gone wrong. Well, state police posted these photos on Twitter yesterday, and state police say that the largest pieces of hail Yeah, wow. Caused significant damage to this cruiser's hood, roof, and trunk, and you can definitely see why it caused so much damage.
Yeah.
Wait for it to pull up again. How soon? It's
Um,
coming up. There it is. Those are huge.
those are huge. It looks like somebody just shoveled it out of their driveway.
And that's the car. I could not imagine being outside.
Yeah.
That would hurt.
It would hurt a lot.
You would not want to go outside.
No.
Nothing should have been outside.
No.
I know my parents, they were also tracking the First Alert weather app, and they're like, your brothers need to bring their cars in. It's going to get hailed up.
That's my nightmare right now, actually.
You just got a car.
I just got a car.
Yeah.
That's my nightmare.
Protect it.
I know, at all costs.
Yes.
I actually offered it to Maureen to drive up to get breakfast for everybody, and she was terrified. She said no. She didn't want that.
I would be the same way. I'd be like, I want to so bad, but that's your car. That's nice of you, though. Very trusting.
A little bit too trusty, maybe. Well, speaking of Michigan State Police, you may be seeing more of them. Maybe not in hail-damaged cruisers, but you may be seeing more of them this weekend.
Hopefully their cruisers are okay. Well, the agency is stepping up speed enforcement starting this Saturday, and it's running through all the way until June 25th. Now, Lieutenant Brian Oleksic, there we go, had to pause real quick. Oleksic with the Michigan State Police says officers will be paying special attention to people who are speeding. Now, according to the state, 237 people died last year in Michigan because someone was driving too fast. So I know there's a lot of construction outside.
I saw people speeding through construction on the way we take to work.
Yeah. It's scary. And then you have large trucks over there, so it's really important to share the road. I also know Cole and I were talking about when we were expecting more rain, that when you do get more of that rain on the ground and you haven't had it for a while, the pavement gets a little slippery.
Yep.
So to make sure that, you're slowing down with that too, because if you're speeding, switching lanes, that's a recipe for disaster that you don't want.
Especially with all those warm temperatures we have coming up next week and it being dry, you may get
Yeah.
used. Maybe tempting to
80s.
drive fast.
We really need, we sound like a broken record, right? We
Even if
really
it comes
need-
overnight when we're sleeping and it doesn't ruin any plans, we'll take
We
it.
just need a lot of rain.
Well, across the pond, I love this story. Scientists have discovered a new species of dinosaur. And I love this story because Taylor has to say the name of the dinosaur.
I was just going to say, bear with me. This is a cool story, but we might, just bear with me. All right, well, the Natural History Museum says the armored dinosaur
There it
was
is.
found on the Isle of Wight off the coast of England.
It looks cool, though.
It does. I feel like that is so cool. It kind of looks like an armadillo, but
Yeah.
larger, with a tail. Wait, armadillos have tiny tails, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
I think.
I feel like I'm not typically seeing armadillos in our area. Anyways, it is part of the ankylosaur genus and was named, here's where you bear with me, was named Vectipelta Beretti.
It sounds like an Italian sports car.
It does. Let me drive the Vectipelta Beretti. But no, it's a dinosaur. So it was named after Professor Paul Bear of the Natural History Museum. Researchers say the dinosaur would have been roaming the Earth during the early Cretaceous
Cretaceous.
period. There we go.
Man.
Crystal's helping me out with these.
That one I know.
Cretaceous.
Thank you, Jurassic Park.
There you go. Yes. Well, thank Jurassic Park for that. Okay, so parts of its fossils will be displayed at the Dinosaur Isle Museum this summer, and this is the first armored dinosaur found on the island in 142 years.
That's awesome.
That thing,
I love
giant
it.
armadillo-looking thing.
It does look like a giant armadillo.
Don't mess with that.
Well-
You can't. It's way back when.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Colton was talking about his sleep schedule. We have kind of wonky sleep schedules. You went to bed early. I stayed up a little bit later last night than I should have.
I just got more than I typically do.
Yeah, I did not get more than I got way less than I typically do. But it's kind of damaging because a new study says that night owls may die early from the bad habits they develop by staying up late.
Yikes.
I am in so much trouble.
This is advice that we need to take, and I'm sure some of you out there need to take this out as well. Well, that's according to a new study published Friday in the journal Chronobiology International. It found an increased risk of mortality in people who go to bed and get up later in the day, mainly due to a larger consumption of tobacco and alcohol. I'll just tell you, I
Bad
just
habits.
go to bed later. It's what it is. The new study followed nearly 24,000 twins from 1981 to 2018 to pinpoint the causes of health-related behaviors and disease. Researchers found that being a night owl increased the risk of an early death by about 9% compared with early birds. Are you willing to take that extra increased mortality rate so you can go to bed late,
No,
wake up late?
because I feel awful every time.
Right. We probably should switch the sleep
should.
schedule. Maybe being an early bird would
I don't know about
benefit.
early bird, but maybe like a right on time bird.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Let's aim for that baby steps, right?
Yeah. I just want to be the right on time Raven or whatever. It's gonna be
right on time.
I have no idea. I was
We'll
trying to do alliteration and it just wasn't working.
We'll take it.
Well, you are sticking around, obviously, because you just got here for News 10 today at 11. What can people expect to see?
Yes, coming up on News 10 today.
My bad.
At 11, the MSU Board of Trustees is in Grand Rapids for the scheduled June meeting. A DeWitt man is in court today facing charges of financial elder abuse, and we're at the courthouse, and we'll bring you more on that. Also, our News 10 Justin Kent has a story of a Michigan State basketball player who is using his name, image, and likeness, or NIL, money to help enrich the lives of those in his home country in West Africa, which is really cute, really heartwarming. You'll have to see the story. I know he was talking to Izzo a bit yesterday, so very exciting assignment for him. But then we will be back here for News 10 Plus at 2 o'clock talking about what you can expect coming up today on Studio 10. I believe today is their last dedication they have because Father's Day is coming up this Sunday, don't forget. Me and my brothers just bought our dad a Father's Day present yesterday, a little last-minute gift.
A little bit. You guys are pushing the envelope there a little bit.
We're so indecisive, though, right? It's Dad. It's
Yeah.
hard to get him, like, a gift. What do you get Dad when they have everything? They support you.
I'm
so
like,
you're
Dad, you
how
got
can
me. What do you want?
We're the gift. Anyways, and then we'll have more updates from who's going to join us today.
For
2
what?
o'clock. Weather.
I'm not sure. It'll be a surprise.
We'll be surprised.
But we will check in with our news team to see what they're working on. They've been checking in with us every day from the field, giving us updates on the stories they're working on for over 90 minutes of local news. It starts with First at 4, which is where you will also see Taylor. I will be back here around 3:30 on our streaming platforms to talk with Tim. Oh, no. Tim is out today. I have to.
He gets a break.
Yeah, I have to make Fred and Joey fight for who's going to come over here.
Little rock, paper, scissors
Yeah,
action.
that's usually how we end up doing things
See who
over there in the
comes up here. There
sports
you go.
office. We're going to check in on the U.S. Open leaderboard and some other sports news of the day. So that's going to be coming up at 3:30.
Yes, if you are heading outside, just make sure, again, with those increased accidents and MSP stepping up speed enforcement, you slow it down, right? No, a ticket ruins a person's day, maybe a few days. So
ruins your weekend
account sometimes. So
yeah, you don't want to start your weekend with a ticket. All right, well, we will see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.
Have a good one.